Good morning, everyone. So great to be here with you all today while my phone's timer is going off. Yeah, I just had a few thoughts that I'd like to share with you, and I'm playing around with StreamYard, enjoying the experience. And there's just a few things that I thought I would like to share with you guys. I recently read a book, or have been doing some research, and I found an article on the internet or somewhere, and it was about how men became men and what has the process looked like and what actually happened that caused men to be so emotionally unavailable. And basically, this person shared about just before the Industrial Revolution, it seemed like men used to live on farms and they had to raise the cattle, look after the sheep, plant some wheat and corn, and be out in the fields all day. And that was the core, the center of the existence of men. And so, as early as possible, men would be excited to take their young children into the field to go and harvest and work the sheep and work the lands and do whatever they can to provide a living. And they would take their sons with them into the field and basically spend the entire day connecting with their kids, sharing with them all the lessons that they have learned, and and connecting with them and teaching them from a very, very young age. I'm not too sure what that age would be, but men would connect with their sons throughout history. This is the way the world worked during the agricultural age. This is what this article said. And then basically, when the Industrial Revolution started, some guy figured out that he could sell clothes, for example. And he went from farmer to farmer to farmer to farmer, and he would just sell clothing. And all of a sudden, this need arose for a factory to be set up to get people to design clothing. And and that thing just grew and grew because it was easier to sell lots of clothes to all these farmers. And all of a sudden this industrial revolution started, and men would leave their homes and go to the cities where these big factories were, with a desire to provide better for their families. But in essence, they left their children and their wives and their families behind on the farms, and that caused a separation between husbands and men and their children, and in essence, their families as well. And then, as this industrial revolution progressed, men would see their families less and less. I mean, you could see still some of that happening. Maybe in South Africa, you can definitely see that happening where people are leaving their families and going to the cities to work and not seeing their families that often. But then a war broke out. So first, men were isolated; they weren't together that much, and then a war broke out. And how many of you know that men had to shut down their emotions in order to go fight in a war and actually kill other people? Because I mean, you can't be fully connected with yourself emotionally if you had to go into a war. I haven't been in a war. I haven't been in the army. I desperately wanted to go, but that opportunity passed me by before I reached matric. They stopped it. But anyway, so straight after school, they would enroll young people into this army model and basically teach them not to be connected with themselves. I mean, I wasn't there, so I'm not talking out of experience. I'm just reading and sharing with you guys what I learned. And then, I mean, if you had emotions, it would be very hard to kill another person. But you had to get rid of the emotions in order to kill that other person, or he's going to shoot you. He's going to kill you at the end of the day. And that caused men to shut down emotionally and not connect with the stuff. And I mean, I could see remnants of that in my parents' lives. My great grandparents went through World War One, World War Two. Not my great grandparents, my grandparents actually, and they had zero to none emotions, and they raised my dad without any emotions. I mean, my dad was just a logical person, and just used to bottle all these things up because cowboys don't cry and are not supposed to feel anything. So 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 there this disconnecting came, and then the generation that I'm part of was raised without any emotional insight or intelligence, and just on this logical system. And this thing becomes problematic if we don't sort out our problems, if we don't deal with the stuff that's inside of our hearts. It becomes a challenge because that in essence needs a way to be processed. And I think that is where men would easily escape into pornography and do things to regulate their emotions and to deal with stuff that's happening to them a bit better. So it's just very fascinating, this whole process that this person explained. And I thought I would share that with whoever would like to watch this video, just sharing some thoughts, because it just paints a picture of how we came to be at the place where we are. How did men develop into who we are? I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that men have emotions and that we are connected we're supposed to be connected with our emotions so that we can educate and provide and protect and guide and raise our families. I mean, you would be half a man if you had to deny the fact that you have emotions. And in Grace Online, the program that I facilitate, so amazing that we teach men how to connect with themselves emotionally and how to connect with other men on an emotional level by sharing, and the lessons that men learn from this whole process, and how much they are being enriched as a result of connecting with themselves emotionally. So men have emotions, the basic part of our brain, the amygdala, the fight, flight, freeze responses, or the emotion, the seat of emotions, is part of our brain. It's part of the primary structures of our brain. Without that, we wouldn't be human beings. So, yeah, I'm just thought I'd share some of this with you guys today. And if there's anybody out there that would need to learn how to connect better with their emotions, then you're most welcome to connect with me. And yeah, be a role model. If you know how to connect with your emotions, come approach me as well. Let's have a conversation. Maybe you can teach other guys also to communicate emotionally with their wives, with their kids, with their families, at the work. I mean, I'm not talking about becoming a slobbering idiot. I'm just talking about a man of power able to wield his own emotions for his own benefit and also the benefit of those around you. I think that is the true definition of what masculinity is all about. So, guys, thanks for listening. I hope you have a fantastic day. There was about 7 minutes, my first time on StreamYard. Maybe I'll be using this platform a bit more, but I hope you have a fantastic day. We'll connect again soon. Bye now.